Hello, this is Annette with Project Refine Life. Welcome to my channel and my VR to K Edit Miss the Gray. This is for the love of borders. The decks with the borders we love. I went ahead and took a look at pretty much all my decks in order to pick out these decks that I'm going to present to you that really show the borders that I really do appreciate. And I just wanted to throw in that in Kay's video, she shared what she refers to as the Venus drink. And although I haven't made it yet, it sounds absolutely delicious. So just keep that in mind. If you haven't seen her video already, go take a look and jot down the recipe and tell me what you think. I'm going to start off with, of course, my favorite, the Gentle Tarot. So the Gentle Tarot has these beautiful colors on the edges as well as within the deck, of course. But what I love that she's done here is that she's applied a color to each one of the suits within the tarot. So here we have the Major Arcana, and it has this beautiful purple color. And then within the cups, it's framed with this blue color. Within the stones or the pentacles, it has the green. And then within the wands, it has this beautiful orangey red type color to represent that element of fire. And within the suit of thunder or swords, we have the air element, which is represented in the yellow. So as you're going through or working with your deck, it is very easy to see when your cards come up, oh, what element am I in? Even before you've actually looked at the cards that you've drawn, one of the things that for me that stands out are the colors that show up. So I know right away which elemental areas I'm in within my reading. So I really do appreciate this beautiful little subtle but effective and great borders that she created in here. It's not too loud and it's just very earthy colors. So I really love these borders. And as I've said before, there's absolutely nothing wrong with this deck. I have all three versions and I feel the same about each and every one of them. This is the Brady Tarot, and the Brady Tarot has these beautiful little frames around each and every card that has these beautiful deep colors, so reds and oranges and blues. And then also, in addition to that, it also has on some of these cards these beautiful little borders here that are a little different than the rest, but it's really pretty. So some of these look like kind of like a rope in a sense, and some of them also look like little flags. Some of them, I don't know, when you're looking at them, it's just so pretty, and it kind of again just draws your eye in. This is such a beautiful deck. I can't believe the work that went into making this particular deck, but it's just absolutely beautiful. So now I'm going to talk about the borders that have a little bit more of an ornate feeling to them. So I have three decks within this category. So this is the Marigold Tarot, and the Marigold Tarot has this beautiful gold border around it. And right up here at the top, if you look at the top, there is the marigold here for the minors. And within the Major Arcana, then you have the numbers right there in that circle. But I just think it is just beautiful. It is just ornate enough without being gaudy, and it draws your attention into the reading, into the card, and into the name of that particular card. It's so well done. Next is the Crimson Asteria Tarot, and this deck, I love this deck. I love everything about it. But what I like about the borders on this particular deck is the very delicate detail that's in each one of the corners. It's the same throughout the deck. There's nothing different between the majors and the minors, but just that way of pulling you in with a very delicate, it almost feels like a very delicate pull to look into the art and just to be part of it. I think it's really well done. I really love the borders on this deck. And the last of my ornate decks that I'm mentioning is the Midnight Magic Tarot, aka my mushroom deck. This deck is frameless. However, In the majors, it has the Roman numeral up at the top, and in the minors, each suit has a specific frame around it. So for the cups, you have this beautiful little purple flower here. I can't remember what this flower is called. I want to call it like a lily of the valley, but it's not a lily of the valley. I know that it's not. But anyhow, the cups have this beautiful deep purple type blue color on the flowers. And then within the pentacle suit, you have the beautiful wheat, which is perfect for pentacles. I really love the association of the flowers that they've chosen for this deck. And then within the wands, she has this firecracker or fire poker, I believe it's called. And then the beautiful sunflowers, which is just perfect again for the wands. And then for the swords, another perfect association. She has the bird of paradise for the swords. So again, this is another one of those decks that it is a little bit more ornate within the border itself, but right away when you pull cards with this deck, you quickly and very easily see what element you're in within your reading. So if you're pulling 3 pentacles, then you know right away, okay, well, the energy is definitely leading in this direction for this particular reading. So this is a great deck, and I do love the borders. I think that they were very well done as well. This next deck is one that Kate also chose, and I really appreciate this border as well because, again, you have the Roman numeral up at the top and then the name of the card down below, but just beautiful. I mean, even the writing that's included, I love this deck. It is so pretty. And the way that it's just very subtle up at the top and up the bottom, I just think it's very, very well done. And I do appreciate the border within this deck. There's nothing on the side. She just limited to the top and the bottom. And I just think it's beautiful. Look at how gorgeous it is. This deck is so pretty. I love it. No wonder it sells out all the time. This is a gorgeous deck. So these next 2 decks that I'm sharing here, which is the Earth Magic Tarot and of course the Spirit Keepers, what I love about these borders is that they have these little reminders of the elemental energy that you're in when you pull your cards. They have right here, this one is a little bit more subtle. It just has the elemental energy or the elemental sign up at the top of the card. And then at the bottom, you just have this black border that states the name of the card, which I think is just beautiful. I love it. And I love the subtle colors where he switches from the art to like this more like grayed out area. And then you have just the extension of the card where, again, it just kind of pulls you in to be involved with the art. And then, of course, the Spirit Keepers Tarot. This is just such a work of art. It's so beautiful. And here you have all kinds of hints within your border. It's very thin. It doesn't take up too much of the card itself. It doesn't absorb the art, which I think is beautiful. You have the I Ching, you have the astronomical symbols, you have the planetary symbols. I just think this border, the way that it's set, is just absolutely beautiful. It's just so gorgeous. This is the Earth Magic Tarot, and this is the Spirit Keepers Tarot. These 2 decks are very similar with the way that the framing has been created. So up at the top, you have the number of the card. Here on the Somnia Tarot, you have the name of the card on the bottom of each and every card. Now, with the Pagan Otherworlds, it is different. So you only have the name when you're in the Majors suit. But what both of them have in common for me is that you have the simple number, the Roman numeral number, and then it's very nicely, very tastefully bordered with this very subtle color that just draws you into the art. And it's just subtle. It's not too much. It doesn't overtake anything. I think it's just stunning. Like with the Somnia Tarot, if I took the borders off, even though I know the deck very well, if I took the borders off, I think my attention would kind of escape out of the reading. I don't know. That's my thought process. I don't know if you can understand that or not, but I think it would just kind of flow out too much. I really need my focus to be in the card, and the white border helps me do that. And the same thing with the pagan otherworlds. If it didn't have this border, I think it would be just, I don't know how to, the word loose comes to mind, and I don't know why, but I just feel like it wouldn't be contained. Like I wouldn't be able to really focus on what I'm looking at if it didn't have these very subtle yet very beautiful, very sophisticated borders. So this is the Samnia Tarot, and this is the Pagan Otherworlds. This is the Tarot of the Drowning World. And what I love about these borders is that it's set up with this little curve at the top. The name of the cards are right down here, very, very subtle down at the bottom. But the way that it's set, the curve on the card, it reminds me of these individual little altars within each card. And I just love that idea. I don't know if you've ever been into a very ornate church, or like I had a Spanish style home at one point, and right over the fireplace, there was this little alcove that just had this particular shape. And that little spot right above the fireplace was absolutely perfect for an altar. It was just a perfect little frame for it. So maybe that's my association when I see the shape of these cards and the way that the altar is set. I don't know, but to me, it just represents like this beautiful little altar. This is the Enigma deck by Daniel Martin Diaz, the same creator as Earth Magic Tarot. Now, I say the Enigma deck because it's not technically an oracle deck. However, you can use it as an oracle deck. But aside from all of that, although there's no guidebook included with this and no direct association that I can see within the borders, I do love these cards, the colors within the cards. And it's almost like this corresponding way of just combining the deck, like having this flow throughout the deck of the colors within the deck itself. I don't think it's too much. I think that Daniel has such a way about him with his art where he really just calls you in. And these borders are smart. I do even love the numbers. I know that's without or from within the border, but I just think that the way that it's done is so pretty, because he has this color out here and then he has this little tiny frame inside, and as you can see, it kind of goes through some of the different colors that are used throughout the deck. So I really do like the borders in this deck, and I think this deck is such a good reader. Okay, that's another conversation, but anyhow, this is the Enigma deck. This is the Dia de los Muertos Oracle, and this deck, all of the colors here are different, but you have this little border, and I don't know if you can see it well or not, but you have like this primarily pink and green and blue and orange, and then this color here, which is more like a purple. And this particular card is the only one that has like this green tint to it. Now, I don't know if you can see it, but, and I think this is the reason why this particular card is the only one that has this green color, is because it states that this card is the papel pecado. So if you look here, you see all these little flags here, that is the shape of papel pecado. You see it like in Mexican markets and restaurants, and then of course you always see it around Dia de los Muertos. But these are all little flags here. But I love it because I know that it's papel pecado. So I love it, and I love the little colors, and I love the variations of colors throughout the flag. So this is another border that I really appreciate. Now, another very clean deck is the Tarot Noir, Nior. I can't say it. But anyhow, I do like this deck, and I know that this is a little bit shiny, so I'm trying to kind of move it around for you, but it has this gold barrier or this gold framing around the card, and then the black on the outside. I've also heard about people trimming this deck down because it is a really, really big deck. As you can see, look at that, it's really big. However, I feel as if I took off the black border, then there would be no Nior. It would just be a tarot deck that has some black within the art. This is beautiful art, by the way. And I know that there is a lot of deep colors within this particular deck, but I feel like this kind of sets the stage for what you're working with within this deck because of the black border. And then last on my list here today, this is the Death Doula Oracle. And I think I've talked about these borders before. Maybe it was in the walkthrough, I'm not quite sure. But again, you have this very simple, very clean border, very small. It's white and it just draws you into the art. It pulls you in, and it's surrounded by this beautiful little shimmery gold detail in the border. And then the names of the cards are so elegantly placed at the bottom. Very clean, very neat. I just think that it is such a beautiful deck, and I just love how simple it is, but yet very purposeful, very meaningful. When he created the borders, I've even talked about the back, that it has this same little border on the back and then this one little dot, and I just feel like it's like a calling in, like a meditation, like come in, sit down, invite yourself into this card. I just think it's clean and neat and nice. So, Kay, thank you so much for creating this particular tag. This was cool for me because I got to cruise through my decks and figure out which borders I really, really love. So this is them. Thank you so much. I appreciate you watching. I wish you a beautiful day from my heart to yours. I will see you later.